up that you can hear me okay. Awesome. Okay, good. So I want to thank you all for coming and welcome. And just as a heads up, we are recording this so that way people who aren't able to join can enjoy this also, because the message that we're going to hear today is really important for us to all think about and recognize and reflect on, and why Agora X is doing the work we're doing with War Child, and it's so important to hear War Child's perspective about what they're doing and to educate us. So we're going to have everyone on mute out of respect, and then we are going to have a giveaway at the end, so please stay on if you can. So we are so honored and thankful to have guests from War Child UK with us today, and it's very much later on in the day for them, so we appreciate them working on their Friday evening. And they're going to be discussing their work and what they do. They were founded in 1993, and their mission is to protect, educate, and stand up for the rights of children caught up in war. And I learned this today, that War Child UK is the only specialist charity for children affected by conflict. And for more than 2 decades, they've been driven by a single vision, and that's for no child's life to be torn apart by war. And that's just really meaningful. And you know, so many mission statements have so many words to them, and I think theirs is so simple, and I love the simplicity and the focus of it. And at War Child, they are committed to transparency and accountability across everything they do. And for me personally, I think it's so important that we, as donors, are able to see the work that they're doing and the amount that is being put towards their efforts. 88% of their money is spent achieving their charitable objectives. And I don't know if anyone has done any sort of research on their own, but 88% is a really big number. A lot of other organizations might maybe even be under 50%, under 40%. There's some organizations that are in the teens of money that's being donated actually going to the effort. So 88% is a great number, and it's very admirable that they're able to do that. 123,000 children were touched by War Child UK in 2018. So they touched the lives of over 100,000 kids in 2018, over 110,000 kids in 2019. So they really are impacting the lives of children, and it's not just you know, anything small either. They've helped over 8,000 kids be reunited with their family in Afghanistan. So these are lasting effects, you know, that are affecting children and families all across the globe. So please, before we get started, please ask questions in our chat. If there's any question that the War Child UK folks aren't able to answer, they're going to send us emails with those answers. So please ask your questions. We value those. And without further ado, I'm going to introduce Daisy, who's our moderator today with War Child UK. And then we also have Tanya and Lilian, and they all work within the fundraising and communications team at War Child, working closely with the donors and supporters to raise vital funds and awareness for children in war zones. So thank you again, Daisy, Tanya, and Lilian, and I will let you take it from here.
Hi everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today. It's so lovely to see you all, and I know that you're all taking time out of your day to be with us, so I just wanted to say how much we really appreciate you being here. And we are going to kick off today with a presentation from Tanya and Lilian about some of the work that War Child do, some of our upcoming projects, and one of our particular projects that you have helped to support in Afghanistan as well. So I will hand it over to Tanya and Lilian.
Thank you. So lovely to meet you all. I'm just going to share my screen because we prepared some slides. So hopefully you will all be able to see it. Can everybody see that okay?
Yeah.
Excellent. In that case, I will hand over to Tanya to kick off.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. Lovely to be here with you for what is our evening and your daytime, I believe. So Francesca obviously gave a really fantastic intro to War Child already. So some of this will just be an extension of what she has already said to you guys, and then we're just going to take you through some other bits like the aid match appeal in Afghanistan that you all supported, and there's some really exciting other propositions that we've got coming up in the charity in the next couple of months and across the next year or so. So, oh, I can move it. Or is that you, Lilian? Either way. That's you. Well done. Perfect timing. So I'm going to start at the beginning because I feel like that is a good place to start. So as Francesca had said before, War Child was founded in 1993 by two filmmakers, David Wilson and Bill Leeson. They were on assignment in former Yugoslavia during the Bosnian War. And when they were out there, they were just absolutely horrified by the violence that they witnessed and the ethnic cleansing that they were seeing go on and the impact that it was having on children especially. When they got home to the UK, they kind of carried that sense with them, that sort of shock, that deep kind of concern around what was going on out there. And I think they were equally as shocked to see the apathy and inaction of our political leaders regarding all of these massacres that were taking place, literally on their European doorstep. So from all of that passion and energy and I guess anger, War Child was born. So moving on to some kind of statistics that really we shouldn't be seeing, but sadly we do still see to this day. And that is that 50% of those that are impacted across the world by conflict are children. So that's half of people that are affected by conflict are children. 250 million children are affected by conflict globally. And therefore, it's the very reason why, as Francesca mentioned, our mission and our vision is a world where no child's life is torn apart by war. You know, one child is a child too many. 250 million is simply not acceptable. So as a charity today, War Child is the only specialist charity for children affected by conflict. Our aim is to reach children as early as possible when conflict breaks out and stay to support them through their recovery. We focus on protection, education, livelihoods, and advocacy. We understand children's needs and we respect their rights, and we put them at the centre of the solution. Our focus is very much on delivering support that helps to amplify their voices and give them agency, be able to also stand up for their own rights. We campaign for changes to policies and practices. We work with children and young people themselves to demand their rights. You know, the freedoms that they deserve. And together with our partners, we deliver in 15 countries across Africa, Asia, the Middle East, and Latin America. So we also have, as I mentioned, along with our partners, we deliver in that many countries. And one of those partners is our sister organisation, Children in Conflict, which is based in New York City. Children in Conflict support War Child more broadly as part of the global family and partner with War Child UK to help us deliver our programmes. We have a strong, generally, our partnership with Children in Conflict is a very strong partnership, and it means that we can work at a broader global scale. So in 2017, we had 2 events that were instrumental in the formation of Children in Conflict. There was a Mumford & Sons show at United Palace and the very first Winter Wassail event in New York. And that's an exclusive annual festive banquet that is still happening today. And concert featuring leading contemporary music talent, celebrity performances, hosted and curated by Carrie Mulligan and Marcus Mumford. Children in Conflict and War Child share many, many things, and amongst those things are our various global ambassadors, and that includes Marcus Mumford and Carrie Mulligan. And Children in Conflict are also the US organisation of choice for Gentlemen of the Road, which is Mumford & Sons Charitable Foundation. So I'm going to hand you over to Lilian now, who's going to talk us through one of our key fundraising activations that took place that you guys all supported, so thank you for that. Obviously, War Child has a number of fundraising events and activations throughout the year, and this is just one of them.
Thank you. So I'm going to talk to you about our Torn from Home appeal, and part of that was Peace Band, which you all did your amazing fundraising for. So we thought it would be interesting, hopefully, to hear a little bit about what the project looks like now and what it will look like now that we've got kind of funding to do what we really, really want to do with it. So to start, I'm going to try and play this appeal film. Hopefully the sound will work. If not, we'll just send it to you afterwards, because I could spend hours trying to make it work. Maybe, Tanya, I can see you, so give me a little nod if it is working.
ما که براتون به ایران رو مجبوریت این کار غریبی نبوده. اینجا افغانستان گوشنه و توش نبودیم، پول نداشتیم. براتون به ایران رفتم در کار غریبی بکنم، بازن بیامدم از ایران افغانستان رفتم از کم مال بودیم.
They have nothing. They were have to go to somewhere to find the money.
زندگی ما خرابه. بعد از کار کردن ما خرابه. خرج خانواده ما کردن نمیدیم. نمیتونم یک کار کنم. یک سوکلتر داشته باشه خیلی کار کردیم. بعد از
این راه که من براتون خیلی هم خطرناکه، هم بدبختیت آدم میره. مردم هم دیگه میخوام که نره به زیرا، خطرناکه، کشتار زیاد بار میکنه، گوشنگی و تشنگی هم.
They see all the problems like killing, like shooting, like injured. It has bad effect to their mind.
پشیمان شدم که نمیرفتم، از سختی بوده. اول که عمر بالا میکرد، بعد از پاسپورت که با که برفتم به ایران از اون جگه بعد که احساس خوشحالی کردم. بعد از با گریه کردم که کاش که مادر خود تنها نمیکشم نمیامد.
They don't have money, they don't know the address, they deport from another country. Center is better. It's like a bridge between our organization, our activity, and the family.
ما که بیامدیم مردم خوب بودن، مهربان بودن. ما گفتم افغانستان خوشحال شدیم، ما بیاردم اینجا، ما بیاردم به خونه ما تیل دادم، ما تا به خونه ما برسوندم، پیش مادر خواهم.
به خونه که برفتم خواهر خواهم مادر دست مادر خواهم بوس کردم، مرارا خواهم بغل کردم، میخوارا خواهم بغل کردم، خیلی مادر خواهم شیشم چای خوردم. به خاطر که خوش دارم معلم شم، هم خرج خانوادی ما برای ما معاش میده، هم خرج خانوادی ما میشه، هم درس هم برای ما یاد میشه که بخونم، هم گذشته فراموش کنیم.
We hope at least if they are safe, if there is good security, they continue their education.
Sorry, that was quite long, but hopefully it gave you a better overview than I can, which I'm going to try and do now anyway. So I was fortunate enough to, I was fortunate enough to go and visit this project in Afghanistan last year in November. As I'm sure you can imagine, it was quite a stressful time to leave the country. The UK had just gone into its second lockdown. So I've felt really, really lucky to be able to go to see War Child's work for myself and really get a handle of it. It was a really difficult trip, obviously very emotional and hard work meeting all of these boys. But what I was like, I just guess what I want to really get across is how like overwhelmingly amazing War Child's work was there. And the people on the ground who actually make these things happen, and how genuinely like excited and happy they were about the prospect of having this additional funding to just improve the already incredible project that they were running. And the money that you guys have raised and that has gone towards this new project, like it won't be undervalued at all. Like, it's so appreciated. So the project is basically there's a kind of really widespread problem in Afghanistan where young boys whose families are really struggling to survive leave their home, and they believe that if they travel to Iran or Turkey or Europe, they will be able to find work and they'll be able to send money back to their family. It's obviously dangerous. These children can be as young as 8, and they leave their home and they pay smugglers to take them across borders, which is dangerous in itself, let alone the fact that the smugglers don't treat them very well. normally when they get to Iran, they can't find work, or where they work illegally, and they end up being deported back, and they're exposed to all kinds of exploitation and abuse. It's a really terrible situation that has been going on for years and years and years. So War Child's role in this is they work near the border between Iran and Afghanistan, and they've set up a project there where they will kind of wait at the border. It's this kind of big hall with just like empty chairs in it, and when the Iranian government deport these children, they'll just leave them in that hall with no way of getting home. So War Child wait at this border, and they look out for unaccompanied children, and they take them to this centre that they have in a nearby city, where they will feed them. They have wash facilities, they let them play, but most importantly, they provide really kind of valuable psychosocial support to help the children deal with the kind of dangerous and potentially traumatic experiences that they've been through. And then our staff there have a really good kind of method in place for tracking children's families and transporting them home safely, often through kind of Taliban manned checkpoints. So these photos are from the centre, which I didn't know what to expect before I went there. But when I walked in, I was just kind of overwhelmed by how peaceful and calm it felt, which was quite amazing because it was on a busy road. And everywhere in Afghanistan that you go, you have to go through tons of security for obvious reasons. And I thought, how can this be like a relaxing and safe haven for the boys? But it really, truly was. It was really quiet. All of the staff were so lovely and welcoming, and they just treated everybody who came through those doors like family. And you can see it's really well set up with like football pitch, which the boys absolutely loved, like lovely, like clean facilities, a library, and you can see in the bottom right hand corner one of the hygiene kits that the staff have been providing since coronavirus. So I thought I just want to tell you a couple of stories of the boys that I met that really have kind of stuck with me. So to start with, there is Zabiullah, and we can't show his face because he was actually at the centre when I met him, which meant that he was an unaccompanied minor. So all of the photos that we took of him were like this, or unidentifiable. He's the first child I met, and I think that what really, really struck me, he was 13, and I was just kind of blown away by how confident and eloquent he was. And when I spoke to the War Child Afghanistan staff there, they said, that's normal, these boys have been through so much, they are basically adults. And I felt that was just so sad because he's 13 and he's like missing out on his childhood because of this situation. So I'll tell you a little bit about his story, but he's in a family of 9 and he's the youngest, and his father has a job selling fruit and vegetables, but nobody else in the family was able to work. And so this was just meant that they didn't have enough money to survive. Zabiullah did have a rickshaw that he was driving to make money, like driving as a taxi. But one day some people got into the back of his rickshaw and attacked him, and they stole the rickshaw from him, and he was recovering for a month from that. And afterwards he just felt really hopeless, and he couldn't go to school because they couldn't afford it, and he didn't have any way to help support his family. So he decided to leave and make the journey to Iran. He told me that he was traveling for 14 days to get to Iran, and that was often in the back of a Jeep with 30 other people. They really cram people in because the smugglers could get more money that way. And often with no food or water, and sleeping in the mountains. And this was a story that I heard countless amounts of times. He told me smugglers value their dog more than they value those being smuggled. I think that just gives you a picture how this is kind of like a career there, because it's so common for boys to go. When he got to Iran, he was deported pretty much straight away. Quite often, sadly, the case is that employers will use them for kind of cheap labour, and then when they're sick of them or done with them, they will report them to the authorities and the boys will be deported. And when they're deported, they go through kind of various different detention camps before they go. So it's quite a scary and traumatic experience. But War Child met him at the border, and he talked so much about being so grateful that he'd been found. He was lost and he had no idea how he was going to get home. But War Child staff members found him and they talked to him, and he was able to talk to other boys who had had similar experiences and play with them. And he was given a mobile phone so that he could contact his family. And when I met him, he was just so looking forward to going home. But it was a difficult journey ahead. He had to make the journey from Herat in Western Afghanistan to Kabul and then on to his hometown. And that is the traveling there by road is extremely dangerous because you go through so many Taliban checkpoints. But War Child were able to facilitate that in a safe way, and he is now happily home and safe with his family. The next story is about Jawad, who you would have seen in the video. And I think what really struck me about Jawad is how young he is. He's 11. I think he looks younger. When I met him, I thought you can't be the boy who's traveled across the border. You must be a younger sibling, because he was just so small. But he told me that his father had died the year before, and that left him the oldest male in the family. And so he had to drop out of school and try and find work, and that he was collecting litter every day, but he wasn't making enough money for his family to survive. He had two younger siblings, and his mother couldn't work because she was looking after them. They were just babies. So he decided to make the journey, and his mother was there, and I met her and I asked her how she felt, and she said, it was awful. I didn't want him to go, but what choice did we have? And you know, that is just awful to hear, because she knows the danger that she's putting her son in, but that they really don't have another choice. And I think that's difficult. We found it quite difficult to kind of comprehend, but I've thought about it a lot, and I just think that it's unacceptable. Not that she sent him, that's it, that anybody's in that situation. So a similar story to Zabiullah, in that he travelled for a long time. He told me that there was 3 days with no food and water, and he was really scared and alone. And when he got to Iran, no one would give him any work because he was too small. And he stayed in a building site that was only half built, with no windows or doors, for a couple of weeks before he decided to return home again. And exactly the same. He was met at the border, and the relief that he felt and the safety that he felt within the centre has really stuck with him. And luckily his family lived close by, and he was able to return home after just one night at the centre. But he received some psychosocial support from the War Child staff there, and kind of remembered playing especially, and talking about his experiences and how that helped. Jawad told me that he said it in the video, when he grows up, he wants to be a teacher, because then he'll earn a salary and he'll be able to support his family. And I think what's really important, and why I kind of wanted to tell these stories, is when I was there, the War Child staff really felt like this was half a project. They're kind of meeting children and returning them home, but they're returning them back to the same situation that they were in before. They still don't have enough money for food. They still don't have enough money to go to school. And yes, they're reunited with their family, but what are the chances that they might have to leave again? And I could see like how unsatisfied the staff were with this, and how sad it was making them, that they were often seeing boys return more than once. But luckily that's what this Torn From Home, the Aid Match campaign that you all fundraised for, is going to fund. So we're going to do some amazing livelihoods work and get all of these boys into education, and give the older boys some training in how to kind of start up their own businesses. The parents will receive like cash grants and support, so that they've got enough money to look after their families, as well as entrepreneurial training and courses. So that's why this money is so important, because the project has been designed to ensure that these boys do not have to make that journey again, and nobody in their family or community would have to either. And yeah, finally from me, us, and then I will hand back over to Tanya, but just another huge thank you. What you raised is amazing, and a reminder that that incredible £8,544, I don't know what that is in dollars, sorry, has been doubled by the UK government, and so now it makes up over £17,000, which is amazing. And so examples of what that money could do: it could drive over 1,000 children back to the safety of their families. It could provide 950 children with back to school kits and help them catch up on missed education. Or it could build 17 new multi-purpose centres in the poorest communities so that children have somewhere to go when they need it, and they can go there to learn and play. And it just makes me so happy to think that, like, little Jawad or Mohammed in this picture is going to get that support and can kind of follow his dreams to be a teacher. I think that's amazing. So thank you.
Right, thanks, Lily. Yeah, so I think it's all very clear to see what your support could help us achieve. So a big thank you from me also. In terms of what is next for War Child, we've one thing we've been doing for a little while, but that is actually just kind of really sort of gathering pace at the moment, and is something that we are building on, is our way that we incorporate sports into our programmatic delivery. So since 2016, we've been exploring how sport, specifically football, can add value to the children we support and the ways in which we work with them. And that journey so far has seen us implement this quite successfully across a lot of our programs, and a lot of our participants and children that we work with have shown, it's shown real benefit in our psychosocial interventions, in the way that we're supporting them through trauma and their experiences, and in the way they can kind of express themselves through play and general sort of activities that every child should have access to. And we're very excited to say that thanks to Mumford & Sons and Gentlemen of the Road, we have developed a brand new integrated methodology around football and psychosocial support program called War Child FC, so War Child Football Club. And War Child Football Club is aimed at improving the well-being of children with international football activities and creating safe spaces for them to play. And over the next 2 years, which are going to be quite fundamental to the rollout of this whole programme, we'll be testing and building our bank of evidence to show how exactly this benefit can bring so much to so many children that we're working with. And this, for us, especially as a charity who is obviously reliant on a lot of donations and fundraising, this really presents a brand new opportunity for us to fundraise and collaborate with the likes of the Premier League and a number of industry brands. And of course, there's, fans alike out there, millions of football fans, I'm sure, and sporting fans in general, I'm sure, who will be able to get behind this and be able to fundraise in more innovative ways for War Child as well. Thank you, Lilian. And the second strand of our new activity is a lot to do with our music heritage. So obviously a lot of you on this call will know that War Child has a very established music heritage, and that started back in 1995. The Help album, which was our very first kind of offering in that respect, was aimed at supporting children and families living through the Bosnian crisis. But since then, obviously, a number of further music offerings have followed. 2009 Heroes album, fundraising concert at Otis Shepherd's Bush Empire in London, which is a huge music venue, and that had the likes of Coldplay, The Killers, Bono, Gary Barlow, to name a few, grace the stage to raise at that time, which was £250,000, which again, I'm sorry, I don't know what it is in dollars, but there or thereabouts, for War Child. So fast forward to 2021, and we have now created one of our most innovative offerings that we're very excited about, and that is our very own record label. So in partnership with Virgin Music, we've now launched War Child Records, which is an independent label set up to use the power of recorded music to change the lives of many, many children living in conflict. So plenty more on that to come. We've only just kind of announced not that long ago that we had launched. So yes, lots and lots of offerings, but I'm sure a lot of you to get behind as we progress. I think that's everything. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you so much both for that amazing presentation. I hope that everyone enjoyed that and learned some new things about War Child and what your support not only has helped us achieve already, but also what it's going to help us to do in the future to change the lives of children in war zones. So yeah, just thank you so much. And if you have any questions, please do put them in the chat, or if you think of anything afterwards, you can send them to Agora X and we'll be able to answer those for you after as well. But then we're now going to move on to quite an exciting prize draw for one of our War Child exclusive prints. So we've had some prints made for War Child or designed for War Child that we would like to offer to you, and thanks for all of your support. So basically, I am going to choose a number completely at random, and apparently there are 11 people on this call who could win one of the prints. So I'm going to write down a number now and then show it on the screen. So I am going to pick this number. Oh,
and then I'll check it against the participant list. So that's how we do it.
Sorry, I picked a really rubbish pen. This is really embarrassing. It looks like a child has written this. I didn't realize that this pen had like a soft tip to it. So this is the number that I have chosen.
Number 6. Okay, so we're just going to count down here. 1 second here. So, sorry guys, I just got to get the participant list to pop up properly. It's not wanting to be big. Oh well, I'll just count anyway. So 1, 2, whoops. I know the anticipation here, sorry. 3, 4, 5. I think it's, just going to double check. Don't want to say it wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is Janine.
Congratulations,
Janie.
Oh, Janie. Congratulations, and we will have that on its way to you very soon. I'm not sure how we're going to find out what your address is, but we'll find a way through Agora and we'll get that to you. So congratulations. And now I think that we're moving on to a Agora prize giveaway. Anyone want to just talk a little bit about what's included in that?
Sure. So we've got 2 prize packages that we had put up this week in our Facebook groups, and it was a to enter. You just had to add a comment to the thread there. So we've got 2 to give away. One is the Monday Marcus Madness, which I'm not sure if I can reach things, but included the poster from the concert. So for instance, our lovely, oh, you probably can't see it with all of my, oh dear, I won't show pictures. My background. So it included that and a couple other items in there as well. Decals and our postcards and that kind of thing. So we'll do that one first. Marcy, or Judy, I guess it is. Judy, you've got the number of people. You'll have to unmute yourself to tell me what number. I think we'll get Daisy to pick another number from the list that you have.
Yep, that sounds good.
Okay. So for the Monday Marcus Madness, what number does she have to pick between?
1 through 18.
Oh, we've got a few more. Okay, well, I won't attempt to write it down again, seeing as that didn't go too well last time. So I will just pick a number, and I will go with number 14.
All right, and Judy will check that against the discussion thread. The other bundle that we have was presents from Peace Band. So that included the, I'll try to do it again, but the Love in the Time of Corona tote, which was more, yeah, you guys can't see these things.
We promise it's really nice.
a tumbler, which is one of a kind, I think, unless Sherry has one as well, but one of a kind. And then like our zipper pull and a couple other fun piece band items that we had as well. And so we'll do that one. And Judy, what number does Daisy need to pick?
1 through 10, please, Daisy.
Number 9. Did I already pick that? No, I didn't. Number 9.
Okay. So Judy, can you be put on the spot and tell us who those winners are, or shall we do that after?
Yeah, no, I can tell everybody. So for the Marcus Mumford package, it's Jen Messing Anderson.
Great.
And for the gifts from or presents from Peace Band, it's Karen B. And I can't remember Karen's last name right now.
Congratulations, both.
Awesome.
Yay.
Amazing.
We'll announce that in our Facebook groups as well with a post, so we'll add that. Does anybody have any questions for the folks at War Child? We can always unmute you if you do as well. But we're pretty excited about what the football, you know, the FC is going to look like, and also War Child Records. We are all music fans.
Definitely, and that there will be much more to come on both of those for us to share with you soon.
Yeah, we would love to. I think Agora would love to be able to support both of those initiatives as we.
Brilliant. Thank you so much.
So Lilian's story was, Lilian, that was amazing. It brought me to tears. How long were you there? I was just curious. And do you plan on going back?
I was only there for 5 days in total. I actually planned to go for a little bit longer, but it was really difficult to get there logistically because of COVID, and I actually ended up getting stranded in Istanbul on my way for a little bit, which was not ideal. I would love to go back. It wasn't really long enough when I was there. I would have loved to just have kind of spent so much more time learning about everything. I found it to be such an interesting country, it's such a beautiful country, and just like amazing people. But I don't have any immediate plans, but next time War Child wants to send somebody, I will definitely be volunteering myself. But unfortunately, I think the security situation there is kind of is getting quite a lot worse. So yeah, just hoping that all of our staff and all of the boys I met can stay safe.
Awesome, thank you.
So there's a question in the chat. I may have missed it. This is from Brianna. I may have missed it, but what programs do you have in place to assist the parents?
Sure. So at the moment, nothing, but this is what's being built on with the money that was raised from this appeal. So as part of the kind of livelihoods work that the staff will be carrying out, a huge section of that is focusing on parents and families. And there'll be some kind of entrepreneur training for those parents to help them, to help kind of train them and get them better placed to find work, or setting up kind of small businesses, whether that's like agriculture or selling fruit or veg in markets. Because it's very likely that the parents aren't educated, so kind of just getting them into a really good place, which includes adult education as well. And we also are providing cash grants, so giving families money every month to ensure that they can do those trainings and that they can support their families whilst they are taking the time to develop their skills, so that they don't have to worry about that in the meantime, and those cash grants they can spend on anything that their family needs.
Great. Any other questions, anyone, or comments? Not seeing any. We should say, I don't think we said at the beginning, but we did record this session so that we could post it up on YouTube, so others could still watch it that weren't able to attend. I know a lot of people, this was just a tricky time for folks with workday and that kind of, or evenings, depending on where you are. But so we are recording it as well. And I guess with that, we'll maybe wrap things up. Thank you so much for doing the presentation for us. I think it was really wonderful to, you know, to be able to hear how our efforts have helped and see the personal stories. And I mean, yeah, they so moving for sure. And also to see all the exciting stuff that's to come and what we can do with that. But we really appreciate you guys taking the time, especially on a Friday night when you guys are starting to open things up back home. So we appreciate that.
Thank you so much. Honestly, it's just to see everything that you all did through Peace Band, and obviously seeing firsthand through like the Facebook group and all of the things that you were doing and getting up to is just so inspiring in the way that you all came together to achieve what you did. So yeah, I hope that you're all just like really proud of yourselves as well. And as Lilian and Tanya have covered, you really have made a huge difference and will continue to do that through what you've done already. So thank you so much, and thank you for making the time to join us during your daytime as well. And I know some of you are working and looking after children and all of these things, and might have some sunshine where you are potentially. So yeah, thank you so much for joining us, and we really look forward to doing more with you in the future as well.
Great.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much.
Have a lovely weekend, all.
You too. Bye-bye.
You as well. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.